Welcome back to another episode of That Guy Health, and today we're going to be talking about the squeeze press. All right, one of my favorite exercises to do, and one of them I have quite a few, but the squeeze press is one of these moves that you should be performing in order to intensify this more center region of the chest. Okay, now let's be clear, let's get a little house cleaning set up right here. If you need training, if you need meal plans, if you need workout plans, go to www.thatguyhealth.com and I'll hook you up. Now let's get back to this. Link is below in the description. Let's be very clear, there is no center chest muscle, okay? There's no center chest muscle. I know a lot of people say work the center muscle. There's no center chest muscle, okay? We want to put more tension in the inner region or the outer region or the upper region or the lower region, depending on what exercise you're doing. And today we're doing the squeeze press, so we want to focus more on the inside. You will feel a tad bit on the outside region as well, especially on the eccentric, but when you go on the concentric where you start pushing up, you should definitely feel that squeeze press. So there are probably more than two ways, but there are two ways that I typically do the squeeze press, and that is are two pieces of equipment I usually use to do the squeeze press, and that is the dumbbells or the plates, okay? And out of the two pieces, the plates are my favorite, and I will show you why. Now, there are two different variations that you could do with the plates. I'm going to show you the variation that I like to do with the plates, and then I will explain why I like that variation better out of all of the variations plus the different pieces of equipment. So let's go over this first. You got your dumbbell, you got your weight plate, all right? Dumbbell, weight plate, and you're usually going to use two dumbbells, okay? I have seen some people use one, probably because they don't like although it's a bilateral movement, there's unilaterally there, almost like having a car with independent suspension versus a lot rear, okay? So it's totally independent, which I like better. And let me explain why I like that better. I like the fact that you do a independent or unilateral with two limbs moving, although they're somewhat not connected, okay? And I like that because I believe, and it is proven, especially in myself going through last season, that when you use dumbbells, even in bench press, you work out those muscle imbalances. So you work out that weak side, whichever it is for you, and you bring it up to where that strong side is, because it has no choice, because now you have individual weight in both hands, and you're going to work to get those muscles more balanced out on strength side, and should be symmetrical as well. And sometimes if I see one side lacking than the other, well then I'll definitely go to dumbbell, because what I'll do is if I'm doing a barbell press, then I'll go to a unilateral dumbbell press and give this side a few more reps, okay? So keep that in mind. So let's get into this on how a squeeze press is typically performed. We're gonna go ahead and start with the dumbbells first. So you grab your dumbbells, get over to the bench. You're gonna take your dumbbells together. All right, now this is the variation using two dumbbells, of course, as you can see. Now I wanna keep my chest up, just like you would in a typical bench press. Upper back pinned against the bench, nice foundation in the heel. And what I'm gonna do is push up. Now you see that I'm not overextending, trying to go way up here. There's no need, all right? Because I wanna go ahead, tense my chest right here and squeeze the chest. Now you see right here where the dumbbells kind of get off, where they're kind of screwy anyway, but that is the key of getting that little bit of tension, because now you want to keep them even and keep them together, all right? So that is usually one way, and like I said, sometimes you'll see people grab a dumbbell and they'll do it like this, or they'll do it like this where they cuff the other hand in there, and they'll do one like this with a quite bit heavier weight, sometimes not, depending on your level, and that's what they'll do. Now out of using one or two pieces of equipment, using one is my least favorite. Like I said, I like to work out the muscle imbalance, and I find it a little bit more increasing the tension having to keep those two dumbbells together, okay? Now it does help because you have the handles and you're gripping there, so you're able to keep them better, and plus the handle is cuffed in your hand, so it's almost like sitting in a holster, so that way you don't drop the weight on your face, of course. So now let's get into the other variation using the other piece of equipment, which is a weight plate, all right? Now most times you're going to see people use one weight plate, and they'll take the weight plate, roll up like so, same thing, good form, push and then this way. Now, this is leading into my favorite way to do the squeeze press, all right? And that is because instead of having my hands holstering the weight and they're kind of just being a cup to hold them there and I keep them together, now I have my hands squeezed like this. So even if you took your hands, right? Say if you took your hands like this, put them together and you just squeeze, you didn't even push out, you just squeeze your hands together, you can feel the muscle in the chest contracting. You can feel it tightening up. You can feel more intensification there. That is why I like, one of the reasons why I like using the plates more, because I have to keep that weight pinned between both of my hands, causing me to squeeze and intensify the contraction in that chest squeeze press. It gives me more out of the rep, okay, than the dumbbells. Nothing wrong with using the dumbbells, but this is one of the reasons leading into why I lean toward using the plates more. Now, what I typically do is I will take that and compound it. Now, keep in mind, doing this is a little bit more riskier. You definitely want to make sure you got your form, that you're able to perform the reps safely and use a weight that you can control. Because I'm telling you, if you don't and you mess up here, you're either gonna bruise your sternum, get a nice gut punch, or maybe even lose some teeth and be making a visit to the dentist office, okay? So I'm warning you, don't perform it, one, by yourself if you're not used to doing it, and two, don't perform it if you haven't done it before in unsafe means. Pick something light so that you can get the mechanics down first, all right? I like to go ahead and do the sandwich, okay? And what I mean by sandwich is I'm gonna take 2 weight plates, gonna go ahead and put them together like so, all right? And I'm gonna go, and what I will do, watch out for your nuts, all right? Or your vajayjay, whatever you got. And I'm gonna lean into the weight, pick it up like so, and now I'm gonna get my squeeze press. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Roll up the same, put the weight down, and there it is. Now, this is my all-time favorite to do the squeeze press, okay? Like I said earlier, using a plate, having to squeeze it, intensifies the contraction in my chest. The next thing is, now that I have 2 plates, okay, I have to keep these 2 plates together and keep them from coming apart, okay, because they want to come apart, believe it. Another thing is, adding those 2 plates puts more resistance in between my squeeze. All right, just like if you know anything about electronics, you put a resistor in line, it's gonna increase the resistance, okay? You're gonna have to put more power through there to get what you had at first without that resistor in there. Same thing, you've gotta put more pressure to keep these plates together while performing the press. It really gets in there. So what I will do is I'll usually do a warm-up set, and then I'll go ahead and start getting into this. I'll do 2 sets, 2-3 sets of these. Then I step up and do a set or 2 with 45 pounds, okay? And this is where getting into, if you're not used to doing this, don't do it, all right? So I'll grab my 45s, take one, lay it here, take the other, put it down here, all right? Now, I'm gonna do the same thing. I'm gonna roll into it, roll it up, get my chest on it, take it, start going back, get my hand placement, make sure my form's good, put the pressure on, squeeze those plates, because when you get these off, they definitely want to come apart. And here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, boom. Now, usually what I'll do is about 10 reps. Now, pay attention. If you have to go back in the video and look, on the eccentric where I'm coming back down, I am controlling that weight, okay? I'm taking advantage of controlling that weight on the way down and not losing any work, okay? You wanna do that. Don't just let it come back down, because you don't wanna crush your sternum or your chest or get a good gut punch anyway. You wanna be in control of the rep the whole time. So if you can't do it with 45-pound plates, step back down to 25s, 15s, or 10s. This is by far my favorite way to do the squeeze press. Weight plates, 2 of them, work my way up to 245 pounds, and press them, okay? So, by all means, have no fear with using dumbbells. Work just as good. Get the work in the safest, most efficient way you can. I would encourage you to work your way up to doing at least with 1 plate. And then as you get comfortable and stronger, 2 plates. By far, I know I did this and that's like 4, but 2 plates, okay? So listen, I just finished my workout. I am hungry. I'm about to go get my 3rd meal in. I just wanted to share this tip with you all, share one of my exercises I like. Don't forget, I always appreciate new viewers. I definitely appreciate my loyal subscribers. We are on our way to 2,000 plus subscribers. I couldn't do it without you all. I wouldn't have anybody to talk to if you weren't here. Head over to the website, www.thatguyhealth.com. Grab you one of those workout gains t-shirts. And you know what I always say about this time? Peace, be safe, and let's build together.